Is MOT season here to stay? Back in 2020, when the government announced lockdowns due to COVID-19, they also announced a 6-month extension for those who had an MOT from April onwards. The idea being that if you couldn't leave your house, you couldn't take your car to get an MOT to a garage that was almost likely going to be closed. However, when the country came out of lockdown 2 months later, for some reason, the MOT extension remained in place. This created a shift and an MOT season, with displaced MOTs taking place in September through to March the following year, meaning garages were more busy in those months, while the April to August 5-month period became relatively quiet. 2 years later, we're still looking at an MOT season, with no sign of it abating. While some drivers are moving their MOTs earlier, there's still a disparity between the 5 months from April to August and the other 7 months of the year. So why is this? Well, one reason is the problem with vehicle registrations. Now, back in 2016, the 5-month period, April to August, saw around 909,000 passenger cars registered. This dropped to around 810,000 the following year, and then up to 850,000 in 2018. Now, these cars take 3 years to come through to the MOT, so they entered service in 2021. In 2019, however, things changed. The diesel crisis managed to scupper registrations of that fuel, and those who wanted to buy diesel cars moved to the used car market. This impacted registrations of diesel vehicles. At the same time, car makers were focusing on producing electric vehicles, which are inherently more expensive, and therefore consumers were deciding rather than trade in for a petrol model, they'd hold on to their vehicles for that bit longer. So, in 2019, 650,000 cars in that 5-month period were registered, and those are the vehicles that entered the MOT pool in 2022. In 2020, just 250,000 cars, approximately, were registered in April to August, mainly due to COVID-19 lockdowns impacting registrations as dealerships were closed. So next year, we're not going to see an influx of cars come in that quiet MOT period. But 2021 also saw problems. Car makers were struggling with supply issues, mainly semiconductors, which were leading to longer lead times between orders and delivery. Anyone hoping for a quick rebound in the passenger car registration market would have been sorely disappointed, as numbers only rose to around 550,000 registrations in that period, and 2022's fared no better, with around the same number of registrations. Quite a way down, almost half down from the peak of 2016. Things don't look like they're going to get any better either, with the cost of living crisis meaning people are holding onto their cars for longer, while other economic factors and a change in vehicle ownership attitudes, including working from home and therefore using cars less, mean people hold on to their vehicles, leading to an ageing car park. Now, what can garages do? Well, there are two options. You could look at the financial impact of having your MOT close to Christmas. Do drivers really want to risk outlaying £300, £400, £500 to repair their vehicle when they've also got to buy presents for their loved ones? Maybe suggest that they push it back a little bit, or push it forward into the quieter months. There's also the opportunity to sell an MOT with servicing. Maybe when an MOT comes in during the new busy MOT season, recommend a service in 6 months' time and a discounted MOT, bringing it back in line with what would originally have been. One thing's for certain. The aftermarket cannot rely on external factors to end MOT season. Garages have a key part to play to ensure drivers are aware of the problems of booking late and bring their MOTs forwards. Otherwise, we could see the busier MOT season last for many years to come.